Ladies and gentlemen, fellow decoders around the world, wherever you may be, both male and female, my name is Logan, and this, of course, is Decode Your Reality, and today we're going to be breaking down and decoding God. This will be generate, operate, destroy. This is nothing new. This is an acronym that's been floating around. It's a lot of different variations of what this is all about. And I feel that this is really, really accurate here. Generate, operate. That's perhaps what the G.O.D stands for. And this can be played out in many different cultures. One big standout is Hinduism, because you have Brahma, generate, Vishnu, operate, Shiva, destroy. And let's get going with this decode. This is a decoding short. I got 19 slides. I'm going to rifle through these really quickly. Trying to get material. I have so much material and I got to unload it. So here's generate, operate, and destroy. And this is really what it looks like. Because generate, operate, destroy is about the genesis, the generate. Operate is life, and then destroy is death. So the generate and the operate kind of go hand in hand with the life, and then the death is the destroy. And you'll notice through using Chaldean, the oldest known numerology cipher on the planet, life and death, they become the 17 and the 19. So I want to bring this into mathematics, as I often do. To measure it through the string of the golden ratio, 1.618033, yada, yada, yada. This is such a big cipher, or mathematical sequence, I should say, that has to do with the source code that we're living out. Behind the scenes, writing this code, the golden ratio is part of that in a big way. And it's tied into the science of numbers. So when we take 19 digits all the way, because death is the 19 and life is the 17. We're going to look and see, like, where is the 17 and the 19? There they are. And look at what digits they make up. The number 8 and the number 8, which is 88. We get into time travel. We're going to get into a whole host of things. When you say 88, it becomes 36. And that's exactly what you're going to get when you add up 17 and 19. How about that? That's how powerful Chaldean numerology is in this source code, and kind of giving the narration of how this reality works. Let's keep going. How about that 108 for the total? The 108 for the total, going 19 digits to ending with death. Well, it's tied to silver, the 47th element on the periodic table. Keep in mind, the 47 protons matches that big word or big group of words, scripted reality. I have a series, an ongoing series. I have 7 of them so far. Scripted reality. That's what we're playing out. Scripted reality. And the reason why I have the television here is because you're on television. Your life to death is a big movie. You're in a big movie set. It's called Earth. Remember in Hollywood, they called it the silver screen. It's exactly what they called it. Actually, silver and aluminum used to use that, and that's what made the reflection of the screen, and that's why it was called the silver screen. So there's no accidents here. Everything's all predestined. Everything's scripted out. And here's just more confirmation. So if we go and find the number 36 from the total, adding up life and death, 36, we got to go 30 total digits, 30. All the way here to find, and so it's digit 29 and 30. And 29 and 30 is going to give you 59. 59 is the game of life. 59 is contract with God. There are so many other layers to go down the rabbit hole here. But the total outcome is very fitting. It's the 157, which is this element right here. To give the clue, it's the GD element. Generate, operate, destroy. It's the gadolinium, and the average atomic mass is 157.924. You're on television. So this is the icon the Royal Society of Chemistry uses. Not just any television, folks. You're on the silver screen. See how beautiful this is? This is how beautiful this source code is. Using mankind to fulfill its destiny. if you will. The silver screen right there. So beautiful. And of course, 64 tied to the DNA, 64 possible codons of our DNA. This is Jacob's ladder, the fish in the bladder, and this is your eye in here. And there's so many different ways to look at this. The fishing boat, so many different ways, 64 squares on a chessboard. That's life and death. So when you see the black and white checkerboard floor, hopefully you're past the point of saying it's this and that, this organization. You should be rejoicing, being grateful, reminding you, hey man, I got a body and I'm actually here to live out a life. And that's pretty awesome. And so I'm grateful instead of blaming and cursing and getting angry at these other people that use the black and white. But really, it's all about this. I've been showing this over and over. I don't want to really go beat a dead horse here. You've been paying attention. You've been here, I'm sure. Role play 30, demiurge 30, right? Whatever's running this reality, it uses us to role play through. That's it. And, you know, role is 17. Life is 17. Matrix is 17. And then play. It's the game. We're playing a game. Game is 13. Play is 13. And, you know, that's the death card. So here's what it looks like through alchemy. Life and death. 17 and 19, taking the 17th element and the 19th element. Now we get into what's called alchemology, taking numerology, bringing it into alchemy, combining the two together. And I'm using the most abundant weights of these two elements. 34.96, 38.96, you add those up and you get 73.92. There's that uranium on the back end. Uranus, uranium has a big say in all this, but it's the 73 on the left side of the decimal. That's a standout. And once again, I'm going to do my best version. You're on television. You're live in front of the whole world. That's right, because you're an actor or actress playing out your part. And you have your cast and your entourage. And life's beautiful. Life is beautiful, folks. Check out my bloodline decoded. I showed this right here was tied to perhaps the first blood types ever created, the O, positive or negative, I cannot remember, but it was tied to chlorine. It was tied to chlorine. So here's where it gets like super, super interesting. Like how could, like the great Nigel, man, I miss that guy. He always said, you can't make this stuff up. And this is, Nigel, this is a big shout out to you. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You know, if you read this is from ChatGPT. I'm getting used to using it just for fun. But look at what it says, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about life now. The term chlorine is derived from the Greek word chloros, which is greenish yellow or pale green. Now this color right here, science says when light enters your eye, this is the first shade that you get, which is the reason why they went with tennis balls being that greenish yellow color. That's why they play with tennis balls. Okay. And the big takeaway here is that chloros is commonly associated with chlorophyll, which is the green pigment found in plants responsible for photosynthesis. Think about that word, photosynthesis. See, moving pictures, the great band Rush, moving pictures. That's what you're playing out. You're an action star in this movie. And it's moving pictures, moving photos, photosynthesis. And this is what we all are. This is the organic aspect through soil, the plants being, and this is Pluto, Hades, Prometheus. I already showed that in my, let's talk about Pluto. But this is how beautiful it is. And, you know, here's the yin yang right there. There's the two serpents coming right out of the soil. And this is all about life. And we're made from the dirt. That's where we return to. When the Grim Reaper comes, when you die and you decompose, you go back to the dirt. It's life and death. And this is just so amazing how Chaldean numerology, how special it is. 17 tied to the 17th element chlorine. And it's all about photosynthesis, plants, and life, ladies and gentlemen. So beautiful. What about death? Let's take a look at that. Well, death is 19 and it's tied to potassium. Again, just going up here they are, chlorine and potassium. Should have put those there, but this is where, again, you can't make this stuff up. The potassium originates from the English word potash. Those of you who are in the Netherlands, it's a Dutch word. You should be rejoicing. Potassium. And it's a combination of pot and ashen, meaning ashes, death. Potash. See, the name reflects the historical process of extracting potassium compounds from wood ashes, which end up becoming dirt. ash to ash, dust to dust. So fascinating, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Plant ashes, potash, death. So there's life and death right there. And just using numerology, bringing it into alchemy, and then getting the origins of these words, absolutely mind-blowing if you ask me. Life to death. Chlorine to potassium. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You're born from the ground, folks. It's even in theology. Genesis 2 verses 7. Go read that one there if you're a fan of theology. So here's where I got into a little bit of computer science, ladies and gentlemen. I love playing around with numbers and different ciphers. And what I decided to do, because these words were such big outcomes for these, two big nouns on the world stage, I decided to create a cipher, 2 of them, and I was basing it off of the multiplications of 17. Life is 17. So I just took 17 and went all the way through 26 digits of multiplying 17. So 17, 34, 51, 68, all the way to 442, which is 17 times 26. And then I reduced it down to get a single digit. Here are the 26 letters matching the 26 17 multiplications. And I did the same thing with the 19. Here's the 19. So I called it the 19 cipher and the 17 cipher. Here they are. Created them. Whoops. 19 cipher and 17 cipher. That's right. And just to show you how ridiculously scripted our reality is, doing it this way. So here is life right here. Life becomes 22 off of the 17, creating it through numbers. 6, 9, 3, 4. And if I just zoom in, here are the numbers. There is L-I-F-E, L-I-F-E, okay? And then I did the same thing with death. Whoops. I did the same thing down here with death. Okay. And death became the number 20. So now we have 22 and 20 of life and death. To get an extension, to go beyond it, to going straight into numbers again, and look at what we get for outcomes. I mean, you freaking kidding me? 22 and 20, simple math, 42. The word's natural order. What is life and death, ladies and gentlemen? It's the natural order of things. Even the word natural is 22, matching the word life in that 17 cipher. The word order is 20, matching the word death in the 19 cipher. Again, the ones I've created with the base starting point of life and death in Chaldean. That's how Chaldean and it's because it's based off the numbers 1 through 8. And 8 is the Taurus field that we live in. 8 is death and regeneration. That's why Chaldean's so special. And you can clearly see how just creating a cipher out of a cipher, how closely knitted they become. 42 is natural order, life, the universe, everything. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. 42 tied to molybdenum, which means lead, tied to calcium, which is our bones and teeth. How about this word right here? Reincarnation. See, I believe in this. I showed it in my Let's Talk About Pluto. I showed how there's a very good chance I'm the reincarnation of Percival Lowell, who discovered Pluto, or at least started looking for it. Reincarnation, 42. I mean, think about what I'm showing you here. 22 and 20, 42. It's pretty easy math. I don't know. But again, you got to make the truth your own. Do you believe in reincarnation? Well, it seems like that. Hotel California, you can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Kind of a lot of merit to that. And how about this word? A lot of people put their faith in that cross. A lot of people put their faith in that character. Is that a guaranteed, surefire way to get yourself recycled back in the game no matter what? By taking part of that bread, drinking the wine, putting your faith, bowing down, praying to? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you got to start using some critical thinking. I mean, 42, crucifixion, reincarnation. So do you get reincarnated by putting your faith into crucifixion, or is it just there's just no way around it? Well, you got to be the judge of that. But I thought that was really, really interesting. And then if we go even further, we're going to do some alchemology again, an extension beyond. We get life 22, death being 20, and how very fitting, because how big this was in my decode of Pluto and Prometheus. 22 is the titanium. It's the Titans. The Titans, this is the sons and daughters of Earth. This is where it originates, called titanium. The Titans, which of course is linked to Saturn and its moon Titan. And so there it is, 22. Remember, the word natural is 22. The word organic is 22. Titanium. I am titanium. You remember that song? And then death, 20, calcium. This is our bones in 99%. From what I found, 99% of the calcium found in the body, bones and teeth, skeletal structure, physical house, foundation. Right there, 20. And when you add them up doing the alchemy, these are the averages now, we get 88.01. 88! So then we get into this right here. To end this presentation, I got a few slides left. I mean, am I trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, ladies and gentlemen? Or are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Generate, operate, destroy, 88. 88's tied to the element radium. It's also tied to the element yttrium. That forms the word Re. The sun, the Egyptian sun god Ra. What is Ra? 226. The word source equals 26. It's 226. Ra is a 3, but it's a 2 and a 1. It's got 2 letters in one word. It's 2121, the 21st card in the tarot, the world. Generate, operate, destroy. This is, spirit coming down to play out the game. 4 fixed signs. Pretty easy. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the 4 Gospels, the 4 horsemen. That's what these are right here. The 4 fixed zodiac signs. And then the code that rules the world, 88. Generate, operate, destroy. And you can break all these down 30, 32, 26. It's really, really interesting when you break all this stuff down. I'll let some of you great decoders do that on your own time. But just going right back here. And, I feel, this is kind of my takeaway here. I feel that the divine, the supernatural, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to title it, it comes down here and it plays out its own game. It acts out its own characters whenever it wants, however it wants, at any time. It's been talked about in mythology, Greek mythology, especially Jupiter coming down here and playing out characters. This is nothing new. Then, of course, Westworld 1973 came out, and that was exactly what it was telling you. Then HBO took over and did a great job, perhaps, telling you about, and showing you the implant in your brain. Right there. And I think this is exactly what's going on. God's on television. Playing out you as your character. You're the star in the movie. Unfortunately, most people don't, they're not the star. But to finish this presentation up on generate, operate, destroy, here it is. It's the G.O.D. in Chaldean. It's the number 14, which is going to be the number 5. 5 is tied to the number 20. When you say that through numerology, that's duality and calcium. But it's the 374. So I'm going to take this 374 because it's a big number, and I'm going to put it into the string of the golden ratio. We got to go 101 digits. 101 is the 26 prime number. 26, the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh. 26 is tied to the word source. But it's 457 is the total we get off of this right here, this 374. And 457, what number is that? It's the freaking 88th prime number. It's the 80. So just think about what I'm showing you here. Generate, operate, destroy. Ends up becoming and tying to the 457 to the 88. Perfect number in the primes, because this is a prime. So you go to the prime cipher, because this is a prime. Perfect number, 457. And thank you, Michael, for showing me that, because Michael is a friend of mine on Facebook. I can't remember, but a big shout out to Michael, because he's the one who showed me this at one day. So I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to give credit where credit's due. But there it is. There's no mistakes, no accidents, folks. It's the generate, operate, destroy, and there it is. Perfect number. Perfect number. 457, 88th prime number. So it's pretty easy to see, ladies and gentlemen. Generate, operate, destroy. Decoded. There you go. Decoding short. Real quick, real easy. What did you see? Would love to hear what you saw. Keep your comments coming. Just keep them cordial. Keep them nice, man. We're all about loving here. So that's what I'm sending out to all of you for this decoding short on generate, operate, destroy. So that's all I got for today, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Logan for Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.